Harry's Wife, Part 101.65. You're filthy. Hello, I'm H.G. Tudor, taking you on a guided tour through the world of narcissism, enabling you to understand why people do as they do, with the intention of extending my legacy and enabling you to perhaps realize what you've been dealing with in your life. Naturally, Harry's Wife continues to provide us with a wealth of material, and there's plenty to get stuck into. So, if you're feeling hungry for Harry's Wife action, you've come to the right place. It would appear, notwithstanding rumours of financial issues, there are plenty of PR dollars still being held in the Harry's Wife account. Why? Well, the Daily Mirror, which sucks at the teat of the PR publication's budget, comes out with this article, written by Kyle O'Sullivan. Harry's Wife's expensive, healthy breakfast and dinner recipe, which she calls filthy. Yes, with everything going on in the world, this is the type of material that she deems appropriate to have put forward as a puff piece, and that the Mirror will gladly report upon. Notwithstanding, of course, that there continues to be a war between Ukraine and Russia, people in Pakistan with several million people being displaced by recent storms, the fact that Canada, unusually, has been battered by a hurricane, and all manner of other events across the world that are causing difficulties for people in some shape or form, it's heartening to know, of course, that Harry's Wife truly cares about all of those things by ensuring that there is something released about her healthy breakfast and dinner recipe. This, of course, continues to be an assertion of control. As I've explained in parts passim, Harry's Wife had a turbulent time as a consequence of the Queen's death and subsequent funeral. We have seen the attempts to nullify the threats to control that arose from that with the shopping list behaviour. And she continues, notwithstanding the loss of Sunshine Sachs, to ensure that these PR puff pieces are provided in order to assert control over the readership, to keep her in the news, to keep a degree of relevance. This enables her to assert control, to nullify perceived threats to control, allows her to draw fuel. It continues to manage her facade. She is so thirsty for that fuel, so necessarily required to assert control, that these ridiculous puff pieces come out. Of course, those who favour her lap them up without switching on their one brain cell. Everybody else looks at it and shakes their head and thinks, yeah, not only does she continue to behave in a desperate way, but why on earth would you sanction the release of such information when everything else is going on in the world? Let's dive in, if you can bear it, and find out what's actually being written. Harry's Wife is a self-proclaimed foodie. Well, nobody else is going to give her that title, I guess, and is very passionate. One of the most overused words. If I ever receive anything that says, I'm passionate about, I stop reading and shoot a minion instead. And is very passionate about what she eats, and that's very clear to see in her daily diet. Fascinating. Before she announced her engagement to Prince Harry, bringing up the past, the Duchess of Sussex shared tips and recipes on her lifestyle website, The Tig. If you would like a parody version of that, then dive into the collection of videos known as The Stig. You'll laugh so much, your sides will rupture. Describing herself as someone who not only loves, but also appreciates the art and skill that goes into making good food. Nigella, she is not. Even when she married into the royal family, Harry's Wife continued to cook for Prince Harry every day. What, make him some toast? Or feed him his alphabetic spaghetti, and then watch as he had a tantrum because there were too many letters and he didn't understand what it said. And has been seen getting very enthused at food tasting events and cooking demonstrations with her husband during visits to places such as Australia and Morocco. Harry's Wife eats a healthy and well-balanced diet. Well, thank your own personal God that you've been furnished with that news. But just like most of us, she loves to treat herself to a glass of red wine and is a massive fan of chips or fries, if you're outside of the United Kingdom. Well, we're going to be told what she has for breakfast. Harry's wife makes sure she never skips the most important meal of the day. Oh, blessed Saint Harry's wife of eating breakfast. Amen. Before marrying Harry, she revealed her perfect start to the day was drinking an acai smoothie, but it's quite expensive. Just so you know, little people, it's because you can't afford them. Superfood berry acai, which is loved by celebs including Victoria Beckham, has been dubbed purple gold because it is full of antioxidants. Look, love, get yourself a Ribena, it'll do same thing. This is reflected in the price, with Harry's wife mixing a £4 packet with almond milk, half a banana, and frozen berries. Those of you that are considering whether you either eat or heat this winter, you'll be delighted to read all of this. And the Mirror, which supposedly holds itself out as a left-wing newspaper, is showing a complete blindness to many of its readers' ills and tribulations. Then she covers it all in coconut flakes, bee pollen, and manuka honey, which costs a whopping £15 a jar. So as you're staring at a rather unexciting slab of Weetabix, thinking, fuck, I'm going to have to water the milk to make it last, B, you can have a lovely warm glow that'll probably mean that you don't have to put your heating on, knowing that Harry's wife is mixing a £4 packet of almond milk, half a banana, frozen berries, coconut flakes, bee pollen, and manuka honey. This just shows her complete inability to read the room. When she wants to fill herself up, for now, Harry's wife is said to also enjoy an omelette with cheese, fresh herbs, or herbs as she would say, and a side of toast. In royal biography, Funding Dollars, Finding Freedom, authors improbably named Omid Scobie and never been seen again ever since she was involved in this execrable piece of nonsense, Carolyn Durant, explain what the Duchess now has to wake her up. They wrote, her morning ritual started with a cup of hot water and a slice of lemon, followed by her favourite breakfast of steel-cut oats, usually made with almond or soy milk, with bananas and agave syrup for sweetness. She also once said her ultimate food day would start with a breakfast of blueberry johnny cakes, fanar, with extra crispy bacon and maple syrup. Fascinating. Such is the Duchess of Industrial Beige that she has nothing of interest to actually tell us. Her PR people have to go into the wankfest, which is Funding Freedom, Finding Dollars, pull out some crap about what she would eat. I mean, what the fuck are steel-cut oats anyway? Is there somebody stood there with a sword chopping them with a long sword or something? Perhaps you can let me know in the comments. But drags up the past in order to control them now with this nonsense. But we've not finished yet. Oh no. It's lunch now. There's one thing that Harry's wife can't resist when she goes out for lunch. Chips. The former Suits star once said, I'm always hoping I'm having lunch with people so we can share fries. It's its own food group for me. So basically, she's saying that if you have lunch with her, she'll nick your fries. Harry's wife once said her ideal day would feature fish tacos for lunch, and she's also a big fan of sushi, and would regularly eat at the Sugarfish and Sushi Park restaurants in Los Angeles. When she wants something a bit lighter for her second meal of the day, Harry's wife opts for a tasty veggie quinoa. While describing her secret to perfecting the meal to today, she explained, at the start of each week, I generally cook a box of quinoa, and while it's simmering, I saute onions, garlic, and any veggies I have on hand in a separate pan. I season the vegetables with Spike, a seasoning blend my mum always used when I was growing up, or a little Bragg liquid aminos. I always add crushed red pepper and chopped fresh herbs. Toss this veggie mixture into the finished quinoa and eat it as a side dish poured on top of a kale salad, or as an easy snack. It stores for days in your fridge. Well, if you're staring at a rather uninspiring tuna mayonnaise Ginster's sandwich, which is possibly on the cusp of its sell-by date, you can rest easy knowing that Harry's wife has a lovely, delicious lunch. Want more? Afraid you're going to get it. I'm forcing this down your throat whether you like it or not. Snack. When she needs an afternoon boost, tired Harry's wife, what's she tired from? She's not done anything. Opts for a delicious green juice, which is how she got through long days filming Suits. Rather than going for a coffee to get a caffeine boost, the Duchess likes to mix apple, kale, spinach, lemon and ginger. So she dunks Harry's head in it, does she? Okay. Or maybe she has essence of Prince Harry, if you know what I mean. Speaking to Today, she explained, "It's easy to fall into the trap of rushing for a coffee when you hit that 4 p.m. slump. No, I'm too busy working. But if I blend some apple, kale, spinach, lemon and ginger in my Vitamix in the morning and bring it to work, I always find that sipping on that is a much better boost than a cup of espresso." She also revealed her love for watermelon with cinnamon, whether plain or diced up with feta and mint and tossed with a little olive oil. Harry's wife's other favourite Tracy treat was revealed in Funding Freedom, Finding Dollars. For snacks in between meals, she opted for apple slices and peanut butter. The Duchess also loves to bake banana bread, particularly if somebody else does it for her, and even took a homemade loaf to a picnic she attended with Prince Harry in Dubbo during their royal tour of Australia and New Zealand. Well, my Antipodean cousins, no doubt you'll tell me again in the comments, and I always enjoy reading it, about what really happened with the banana bread. You'll be pleased to know that we're into the final straight, and yes, it's dinner. It's previously been claimed that pasta is banned in palace kitchens, but that's certainly not the case for Harry's wife. Lack of boundary recognition, sense of entitlement. When asked what recipe she could make with her eyes closed, Harry's wife told I Swoon, "Casseo e pepper pasta. It's so easy." One of her favourite dinners to cook at home is her very own pasta sauce, which she describes as sexy and filthy. Who on earth refers to a pasta sauce as sexy and filthy? Oh, Harry's wife does. A friend convinced her to cook a zucchini for 4 to 5 hours until it broke down into a filthy, sexy mush. Are we talking about the vegetable or are we talking about something else here? To toss in with the pasta. And it only has 3 ingredients. The sauce gets so creamy, you'd swear there's tons of butter and oil in it, but it's just zucchini, water, and a little bouillon, she told Delish. Harry's wife confessed she sometimes get a craving for mac and cheese, which she used to cook for the kids she would babysit. Poor children. And it was actually one of Harry's favourites when he was younger. Probably still is. Alongside a petit filou. Another dish that has a special place in their hearts is roast chicken. Oh yeah. As it's the meal the couple were cooking dinner at their Kensington Palace home when Prince Harry proposed. In their engagement interview, Harry's wife said, "Just a cosy night, it was. What were we doing? Just roasting chicken and having..." Interrupting his fiancée, Harry said, "Roasting a chicken, trying to roast a chicken." Harry's wife likes to wash all down with a glass of red wine and even named her cooking vlog, Tig, after the Italian wine, Tianello. Fascinating, huh? So accordingly, we have bringing up the past, because she has nothing new to say, triangulation with all of this cooking, and arrogant disregard for the situation of many people who find themselves in financial difficulty at the moment, who have no interest in knowing what wanky food she's involved in creating. And, of course, this is all being demonstrated in order to assert control over people, whereby it's thought that people would be interested in hearing once again about what she does with regard to food. I'm H.G. Tudor. Thank you for listening.